Hello. God bless you all. This is the Rosalind Solomon's YouTube channel, and I'm your host, Apostle Rosalind Solomon. You can look for something here every week or every other week on this channel. Praying, the prophetic, prophecies, dream interpretation, teaching, and so much more. And if you're new to the channel, God bless you. Subscribe, like, and share. You won't regret it. I thank you for coming to this channel. Trust in me with your soul. Trust in the God in me. Thank you for subscribing, liking, and sharing. Thank you, and thank you. God bless you.
Hi, it is Apostle Rosalind Solomon. If you want to see my links to my other channels, other pages, donate, sow a seed, buy books, listen to music. You could look under all my other videos before this one, and all the links are there. And also in my landing page on here, about page, you can see it there. These words I was supposed to give you yesterday too, but I had forgot, and I had gave you a lot of words. So I was gonna go live tomorrow and do it, but I'm not gonna be able to. So I'm doing it now. I was supposed to tell you about brands. Like we're gonna see. Like I kept seeing Nabisco and another company. I forget the other one, but I know it was Nabisco. And I think it was Quaker Oats, but it's going to be more too. But Nabisco and Quaker Oats stood out, and Doritos stood out. Nabisco, Quaker, and whoever makes the Doritos, they're a lot. Some of their brands are going to discontinue. You're not going to see them anymore. And I gave y'all this prophecy back in 2021 that the Lord said we were going to start seeing things in the supermarket. They weren't going to be there anymore, and they weren't going to come back. And we're already seeing that. But some of these big branding companies, food companies, are going to discontinue some of their lines. We're going to see that, right? And the Lord has said that in this hour and time in our lives, we must be quiet in the Lord and listen to him so that we can prosper through these difficult times. The only way you're going to prosper and survive through these difficult times that's coming is to be quiet in the Lord and listen to the Lord. If you don't listen to the Lord and you're disobedient, you will not prosper and you won't survive, the Lord said. Also, y'all know for years, ever since 2017, I saw a big tsunami hit in California, and it was supposed to hit by December or last December, but God said it had been delayed because of the righteous prayer. And also in my book online called Past, Present, and Future, Prophecies from 2012 to 2022, I think. It's in there too, the tsunami. And at the time when I had the vision about the tsunami, it was 36 million people in California. Now it's way more than that. Then y'all also know recently, last month, I think it was, God showed me a vision of a big earthquake coming to California, and it had said at 8.2, and I had Googled it, and the scientists had said the same thing. All right. So the Lord wanted me to remind you again, we're going to see floods coming. I already told you the Midwest are going to have them, but we're going to see floods like, on the West Coast. And y'all remember the vision I had in 2017, and then I had another one I had 3 or 4 tsunami dreams about California, right? But I also had a vision about a tsunami in New York, but the Lord didn't tell me that was coming just yet. I saw an explosion of a tectonic plate under the water, and the water came up like a big old, what can you call it? It just shot up, and it was so high, 100 or more feet. That was for New York, but I seen New York have tsunami a couple of times, right? But California, I saw one, and my daughter was in it, and I kept warning everybody that the tsunami was coming, and nobody wouldn't listen. And so my daughter was the only one that came with me on the border, and she had on this pretty red bathing suit, and she was loosening herself from my hand to go back. And I said to her, if you go back, you won't survive. And she just loosed my hand and she went back, and I didn't see her anymore. So at the time, I didn't understand that part of the dream, but I do now. But that's personal. So the tsunami came, and it was huge. I mean, it was huge, and it just wiped everybody off the planet. I mean, at that time, and I saw tsunami from Florida a couple of times. Y'all know that, right? But anyway, there is a big flood that's going to be coming to California along the West Coast. I had even had a vision about seeing the Sandria Faults um, breaking apart, and I told y'all about that, right? So there's going to be a terrible, terrible flood. It's going to be it probably might be a tsunami, but I know it's going to be terrible floods that's going to hit the West Coast. You know, whatever cities is on the West Coast from California on down the fault line, is going to be affected. So I didn't Google to see what's on the West Coast fault line, but you know, it's quite a bit of other states, right? So, and I don't know, it's like a urgency in my spirit, you know, talking to God about it. It's like an urgency in my spirit for this. And I just was hearing the Lord say he's wiping out evil. He's wiping out idols. He's just wiping out. He's cleaning. And the enemy is basically going to be behind it, but the Lord is allowing it because of the sin. But it's really the enemy. It's going to be like an unusual flooding. And newscasters and stuff, they're not going to see it coming. You know how sometimes they see these things coming. You know, an earthquake may come. It may be that 8.2, and then the tsunami, or the tsunami could just, the flood tsunami could just come on its own. Like we've seen that happen. And California is going through bad floods now. And I told y'all about these floods last year that was coming to our country, and especially California, Texas, Midwest. And the Midwest is going to have something really terrible come. So the Lord wanted me to remind you about all those tsunami dreams I've had, in the Cali and the West Coast, Sandra faults and the earthquakes. Like yesterday, I named some countries. I know it was Indonesia, Hawaii, Italy, and I forget the other countries that was about to have volcano eruptions. Well, Indonesia had one today, and they was evacuating people. So prophecy come to pass. And then I told you how celebrities were going to start dropping dead. This famous rapper in Africa dropped dead. Then I told you banks were going to fail, and we've had 3 already. Wow. And I told you it wasn't going to be Wells Fargo, Chase, Bank of America, credit unions. I didn't know which kind of banks it would be, but I knew it wouldn't be them. And they're bailing the banks out because Roku, you know, a lot of these big companies would have went bankrupt. Would have went bankrupt if they didn't bail them out. And they're saying that taxpayers won't have to pay for it. I praise God that stays that way. You know, and then I had gave y'all prophecy in 2021 that the Lord said that they were going to realize that they went too far, that they were going to break the economy before the time set that they wanted. And so they would withdraw back. And we're seeing that. And I'm hearing Jerome Powell might not raise rates anymore after March. And I remember last year I told you that he said they were going to abandon these rates. So we'll see, right? So a lot of the stuff God has given me has come to pass. Videos are on here, right? So the Lord told me to come on here and tell y'all to pray for the West Coast, pray for the Midwest. And the Lord said that we as a church, we're going to see a lot of surprising things that's going to put fear in the church. It's going to startle you. So the Lord said, church, get prepared for the tsunami of people that's going to be coming, looking for God. Because when this tsunami flood hits the West Coast in the different cities, going to be a lot of people that's not going to make it. I even saw a flood coming to the seashores of Jersey. I told y'all that. And there would be a few people coming, and that was going to come out the blue, but they were going to recover quickly. But when this tsunami like flood or tsunami come to the West Coast, it's going to take a long time before they can recover. So I have a sense of urgency in my heart and my spirit. I mean, I don't know when this tsunami flood is coming, but it's coming. I don't know. Could be this year, next year, the year after. I don't know. And we need to pray for the people on the West Coast and for the Midwest and the Jersey Shore, although I know that's going to, be better. And New York, but the Lord didn't say anything about New York coming. He didn't even say anything about the dream I had a couple of weeks ago about Florida tsunami. He just said, tell y'all to pray for the West Coast and the Midwest. And I believe that was it. And also, he urgently wanted me to tell y'all to learn how to be quiet in him and listen to him. You will live and you will prosper. If you disobey and you don't listen to him and be quiet in him, you won't prosper and you'll lose your life. Because some terrible, startling, surprising things is coming out of the blue that nobody's going to see coming. We're about to see things that nobody sees coming, that no one can predict, no weather person, no nothing. And some of it's the hand of God, some of it is the hand of the enemy, and God is allowing what the enemy's going to do, clean away idols, sinful people, evil people, you name it. All right, so pray, guys. That's all I could tell you. And get for the Midwest and the West Coast, Cali on down, and pray for your own land and nation as well. I even saw flooding coming to the UK, y'all. And I remember a couple of years ago, I saw bad storms and flooding coming in. It came. And I see something coming to Germany, and I see a lot of typhoons coming to different Asian lands and very bad storms coming to Asian lands in the summer months, probably starting before. All right. And the Lord said, we're going to hear of another collapse. What is going to collapse? I don't know, but it's going to have something to do with the financial industry, but it's not going to bring anything down like these signature banks and stuff in the Bitcoin bank, whatever they call it. It's not going to bring anything down. It may affect the market a little bit, but the market will recover. It will snap back real quick. It's not going to be anything like we're seeing now at FTX. All right. So pray, guys. That's all I could tell you to do is pray. All right. Good night. God bless you all and talk to you soon. And may God be with us all and be safe in Yeshua's name.